For memorizing these with the positives and the negatives, I've already talked about last time memorizing these, the fact that a lot of things that deal with cotangent go with cosecant, and a lot of things that deal with tan go with secant. So that can help you remember which ones go with which, as far as which ones are going to be positive and which ones are going to be negative. Okay? I want you to think back about the cosecant graph. Okay? To think back about the cosecant graph, temporarily think about your sine graph. Then do the reciprocal of that. You'll have asymptotes here, here, and here. Basically, what I want you to think about is this first part here. And if you go just a little bit past 0, your very first tangents will have negative slopes. And if you think about that, your first part of your tangents having negative slopes, it will help you remember that that one will have a negative. Same thing with secant. If you think about your original secant graph, which is, here's your cos graph, you would have asymptotes here and here. Your very first tangents as you go left of 0 will be positive, so your derivative is positive to begin with. Because all of the angles here, this is basically quadrant 1 where everything is positive anyways, whether it's secant, tan, cos, or sine. And finally, your cotangent graph. If you remember, your cotangent graph looks like this. It has an asymptote right at 0, but no matter where you draw a tangent anywhere on a cotangent graph, it's always negative. Hence, your answer is negative as well. So that can maybe help you remember whether it's positive or negative. Of course, it only is helpful if you remember how to graph cotangent, cosecant, and secant. So this is a good review of remembering how we graph those ones and how we can get them from their regular sine and cos graphs. So after that long chain rule one that we did, the rest is a piece of cake, right? So we got our cotangent graph. Y prime will be 3, negative 3, because the derivative of cotangent is negative cosecant squared. And then plus, because the derivative of cosecant is negative cosecant cotangent. And then we have our questions from yesterday to practice. So we'll take some time to finish those up.